welcome. On this video, I want to talk about the framework of working with multiple dogs. And in fact, right now, I'm going down to a kennel facility. It has 6+ dogs there. And to, again, bring the methodology online. A couple of these dogs actually have been fighting with each other. And so this situation here, they're show dogs as well. So when I'm going down to a situation like this, again, just so people understand my thinking, when I'm entering into situations where there's multiple dogs, lining the stuff up, finding the calm center, so to speak, of the storm, if there is a storm raging, even with dogs fighting, how to line this stuff up, what your thoughts should be as a dog trainer, and keeping everything safe at the same time. So understand, when you go in a situation, it's all about control, okay? It's about relationship and control. Be no different than, again, I use my parenting example. If you're going into a situation, and again, understand everything is a type of an intervention, okay? To move things forward, it's no different than going in as a parent, okay, dealing with a parent who's dealing with, say, 4 children or 5 children, and a couple are actually out of control, they've been violent, okay? Is almost need the police there, right? But you're going in with the first goal is to separate everybody so you can gain a level of control, right? You don't want people to engage, right? You don't want the children to fire things up, right? You're there because it's already an unhealthy situation. The parents already faded out, so think about the dog owner being faded out. And so the first order of business is to line things up so you have a order of things. You have some control going on. So whether you use the crates to do that, I usually recommend put your dog in the crates. Let's have a talk first, a discussion. Or if the crates aren't present and the things are going a little hairy, the dog, then you have to engage sooner. You got to start working the method sooner, okay? Because things are too heated up to help calm things down. So this is where I will work the method right away. I'll talk after. Okay, I'll start to work the dog. So get a level of the dog not expressing a level of control. Okay, so I'll start to line things up so at least you get into a standoff situation where the dog is rethinking their options. Okay, and that's the other alternative. You're dealing with a situation where you walk into the train, the dog's getting really pushy, all over you, and things are, you don't only have the focus to talk anyway. Then work the method, and they can see you working it anyway. Work the method right away to get things calmed down. Now, again, when I'm entering the situation, that's the first order of business. Then I'm going to have a discussion. Okay, I'm going to have a talk about the method, about the tools, about the focus, and if there's multiple dogs, I'm going to focus on the dog that has holding the least amount of control first, because that's going to give you better clarity, or the owner better clarity, as to lining the method up. The dog's going to be more agreeable. The less controlling dog's going to be more agreeable. Therefore, okay, it builds the dog owner's confidence up. Because here's the thing: is when they put a leash on the dog, say there's multiple dogs, the dog that's holding more control, there's going to be a lot more chaos. The dog is going to be less agreeable, more challenges happening, and it can be very, very difficult for people that way. Don't get me wrong, sometimes that has to happen depending on the situation, but like always, if you have a situation where you have multiple dogs, try to assess, and they'll usually tell you. They'll say, this dog here is pretty relaxed, and that dog may not even be the focus of the session anyway, but still make it the focus, at least for a few minutes, to give the person confidence so you can switch over to the dog that is the focus, okay? So it's all about lining it up so that people feel good about what they're doing, building up their confidence, right? But if you have to, work with the dog that's more challenging faster, take extra time to sit down with them and talk through it. But then here's the other thing you want to do is make sure have a crate available so that the crate is right there, and so when they bring the dog out of the crate, they're working right near that crate, just doing a little bit of the method, doing maybe the first order of business, just get the dog into a sit position, then back in the crate, just in and out like that. Give the person some recovery time, talk again for a couple minutes, Do it again. Do it that way. Back in the crate. The crate is your kind of reset button to be able to take pressure off people. So have a crate available to do that. Okay, and so when people call for a session, and you're dealing with dogs that are holding a lot of control, you have a sense of that. I always tell people to have a crate available for the session. And if sometimes people are apprehensive about the crate, just say, listen, have the crate available. I'll talk through it when I'm there. It's not about punishing the dog or isolating the dog. It advocates as part of the structure, but you need to work off the crate. Especially with some dogs, you want to have the crate available so you can use it as your jumping off point, okay? So again, going down the situation, that's what I have in my mind. I mean, it's like anything when I show up, it's first thing, control. Get these dogs under control. They can be in their kennels. It's a kennel facility, so you know they got kennels. You have them in the kennels, have a conversation, and then selectively start into the method. Now here, the person that called me says, Dale, however long you have to be here, whatever, however long it takes. Now I'm driving. I'm doing some driving. I'm driving. It's about an hour and a half from where I'm at in St. Cloud. So, that's the amazing thing about dog training is I'll get calls, to go to certain places. It's like, okay, I'm willing to drive it, but then at the same time, I could be there. I could be here for several hours. And then he's saying, well, here's the first session's like an hour and a half. Well, if you need to go further, whatever your rates are, that's fine. So, this is how it works. So, because dealing with 6 dogs, clearly they want to rotate them through. But again, when you're doing this type of thing, you don't, when you're doing it, I don't try to extend it out like that, like for like 4 or 5 hours of training that way, because the focus is usually on the dog that has the least amount of problems. Then I'll go to the more problem dog, but to try to rotate through 6 dogs, because here's the thing, it's the same method anyway. You just want to get the person's skill set up, and then they can work the dogs when I'm not there. But you want to just focus on getting their skill set up, so that no matter, regardless of what dog they're handling, they're going to be able to handle it. They're going to be able to, be able to line it up properly. So it's all about developing the person. It's not about rotating 6 dogs through. I doubt very much I'll get through all 6 dogs. It's about a couple dogs, get the person's confidence way up. I won't take this session into multiple hours here. That's why the first session is an hour and a half, because it's pretty intensive. I mean, it requires a lot of focus. So, after an hour and a half, you have just about as much as you can handle, okay, in terms of the basic method anyway. So, but we'll see how this goes. Depends. It could be more talking and stuff. So, it all just depends on the situation. But unfortunately, I won't be able to film this because unless the people agree to it, and that's why a lot of my stuff isn't filmed for home sessions, because it's a privacy issue. A lot of people don't want to be filmed. I don't even ask, because when I step in the situation, I already know that they don't want to. And on top of that, it does change my focus on the filming part. The people are telling you personal things, about their life and about their relationship, even with their spouse. And so a lot of stuff I don't film it because it's private. So this is where the board and training coming up. You'll see lots of videos, because I have 3. It appears I have 2 for sure. It looks like I'm going to have a 3rd board and train situation dog. So I'm going to have the ability to put out lots of videos coming up here shortly anyway. And that's where I really put out the content on the board and trains, where I can take my time. Filming is not an issue because the people aren't there, and it's helpful for people. So again, you'll see lots of video content coming up here shortly as well. So anyway, that's the outline for this type of situation with dogs at a shelter. If you deal with multiple dogs, focus on the least challenging ones first to help the owner, okay? And that's going to help them, and then it keeps things leveled out. Better clarity, dog's more agreeable, it gives them better confidence, then move forward from there. Thanks for watching.